So it seemed like every time that we have a very large, impactful race like this past weekend, there's a barrage of posts that come out wondering what we should do. Can we sustain these type of things in this hobby? The money, the speeds, and everything else. Well, some interesting posts have actually came out on Facebook today, and I want to talk about it and get your opinion, and maybe we could provide the people that make some of these decisions, whoever that may be, a little bit of information. I'm Chad. This is the Dorky and 40 RC channel. Let's talk about going faster today. So what we're talking about here is Dustin Malcoat and a few other people. He's the guy that runs GFRP, have put out, you see these posts that come out all the time. And what Dustin did, I think, was responding to another person's post. You see the time slips here. We all know how fast everybody ran this week up at the Maumee. And, I've ran up there. Those speeds are super fast, but that track is definitely super, super prepped. It's ran on constantly. So don't get discouraged when you see times like this posted, especially on that track, because almost anything is possible. Now, granted, if you show up with a 2.3 second, 2.4 second car, you're not going to run 1.5s, but you're definitely going to run 2.0s. I could guarantee that. If you get your car going straight, you will be good up there. But Dustin is, proposing some stuff, and I've seen some other people kind of doing some stuff of like, what can we actually do to like save Outlaw? Like this, Outlaw's Outlaw, but we need a way to keep people engaged into the hobby. To get to the point of this video is, how do we keep this hobby alive? How do we keep people from getting not frustrated and getting the most value for their money and being able to make these excellent results and go faster and faster and still be able to compete and try to go out and win some money against your pro driver, your person that has all the available stuff to them, prototype parts, batteries that we won't see for months, cherry-picked motors, all that kind of stuff that people talk about. How do we even the playing field? How do we make another class, if we do, that grows the hobby? In my opinion, we do need something. I don't know what the answer is, but I see everything. We'll talk about it here in the video. We got to figure something out before this hobby becomes, while we still can, because this situation is becoming dire day by day. So it's very important, guys, that you comment down below with your ideas. Please comment, like the video so this gets a lot of traction, share this video and everything else, so that way we can push this out to the manufacturers and all of the prime people in the Nprc world and see what the answer is to save the hobby and the sport that we all love. We need a production type of car, stuff that is produced with parts that are readily available, like not using voodoos and going back to using those cool bodies that we used to and everything else. And we all know that like it's going to be super hard to get everybody to agree on a set of rules. There's tons of comments on here, and this has been reposted on every group on Facebook, and you see all kinds of comments and stuff that are going on. And honestly, you kind of see some like nasty stuff too. I usually get a kick out of the RC Jesus, but when he starts posting up effective immediately, anybody that runs faster than a 2.0 will be immediately disqualified and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that's just bad for the hobby, man. That's not what I am here to do. And I know that's not where a lot of you guys are. Like myself, and I've seen a lot of people this year make just amazing strides because the technology, the tires, the prep, everything has just been elevated. And we owe all that to the manufacturers and the big money draws and everything else like that. But what happens when that attendance starts falling off? Because people just don't want to come out and hand over their $100. I've seen it locally. Maybe I've even been actually thought about that. Like, well, I'm not going to blow the $20 this week because I know my car doesn't work. We tried dial-in bracket racing and all that kind of stuff, and that helps out a little bit. But like, what do we talk about when we're looking at the actual scale nationally? Like, how do we keep that going? And Dustin has some good ideas, and some other people did too. So that's cool. When I look at like my viewers, what most people have been interested in It's a one box cost effective solution, something like the DR10M that's going to be coming out. Give you an upgrade path of available parts that are reasonably priced, and they should be easily available. So that way you can upgrade your car as you want to. Now we all know, of course, eventually you're going to want voodoo tires, and you're going to want R1 ESCs and max amps batteries, and you're going to get into this vicious cycle, and you're either going to stop or you're going to keep going, and you're going to keep spending money and everything like that. And maybe you'll get a lot of reward out of it. Like, obviously I have this, you guys in the community, and I just love the sport and the technology and everything behind it. I've never had ambitions of going to one of these races and winning one of these things. I love lining up next to people. I lined up against Frank. I gave him my best shot. It is what it is. That's like all part of the fun in the game. But I definitely think that the time is coming, if not already here, to do something to make things a little bit more even. Some people say, well, get rid of the prep. Well, why should we get rid of the prep? It is no prep. Get rid of the Pro Mod bodies. Go back to this kind of bodies. Some of these things are listed in Dustin's posts as well. Limit the actual turn of the motor. You're only allowed to use this certain kind of motor. Well, then that kind of stinks, because then, you know, there goes the Castle motor. So is that really fair? You had something about a Roar approved motor. You know, I don't really think we need to be sanctioning Roar and everything like that. Like, I'm sure they would love to get their hands all over No Prep Drag RC, but there's no reason really to bring them into the fold. So not down with that at all. And another thing was, you know, if you're an outlaw person, you pay your entry fee. If you're a lower class person, you pay your entry fee, and then a percentage of your entry fee goes to the outlaws, because they will be losing money because they're less people. You know, in my opinion, I mean, if you want to go this route, like I've went and some other people, I mean, like, let's take a pro driver, for example. You know, that's a choice. It's your choice to get up every day and play with RC cars and hope that you can go somewhere and win 5 or 20 grand. If we really want to grow the hobby, you know, you can't take from one to support the other. That just doesn't work. That's fuzzy math. Don't like that stuff. And maybe I'm all wrong about this, and things should just keep on going the way they should. But I see my YouTube analytics, like I said before. I see what people look for. I see the struggles out with my local people. We see the struggles with people online. We get a big influx of people, and then we get a big outflux of people. The problem is from what I can see with my analytics, is that influx is contracting. So less people are coming in and more people are going out, and it's happening way faster than I think a lot of these people were thinking or expecting that it was going to happen. And it basically is coming down to people just eating themselves up, you know, like people have got nicknames like the Class Wrecker and everything like that. It's great that those guys are able to go so fast. And ladies, I mean, how awesome was it yesterday to see that actual race go down? But when you really step back and look at things, there's basically, in my opinion, like a cut above. There's that top 25 to 30 people, however you want to rank them or judge them or anything else. And then there's a huge middle of pack. So let's say your average, you know, you've got like your top 25, top 30 people that are 1.65, 1.7 drivers. Then you've got hundreds of people that are up to like that 185 type of deal. And then you've got everybody else. The problem is we all know that getting from that 185 to that 165 or whatever is a tremendous amount of work, money, and time. It is rough, and you got to have all the right stuff. I mean, if you do not have all of the right stuff, it just will not happen. If it does happen, it's just like a stroke of luck. Oh, and it's just on and on and on. Just more people just talking crap about the whole thing. It's pretty sad. I mean, it's just, man, the things that really have happened inside this hobby in a short amount of time have really been crazy. That is for sure. So I know this has just been a short talking head video, guys, but I'm interested in taking this information and passing it on to people that make these decisions, build these cars and everything else. They need to know what the community thinks. And we have the largest YouTube community when it comes to NPRC. Nobody is close to being as big as us. So put your comments out there, and when this stuff gets going here in the next week or so, I'm going to send a link to this. I'll spam it out to like all these manufacturer owners and stuff like that, so they see what the public really wants to see, because I know some people don't have Facebook. Some people don't want to comment on Facebook and everything else. I don't even want to leave a comment on there, because you're always going to just get flamed, and someone, keyboard warrior, is going to just come in and say something stupid anyway. So we'll have a great discussion here on the channel, and we'll be back with some really cool stuff coming up this week, guys, that kind of fits along these lines a little bit, actually. So peace. We will talk to you guys later.